I just want to prove to everybody why Fabiano Caruana was the best classical player in his time. Let's go through one of his games right quick. This game by Fabiano Caruana, and this was back in 2008. Fabiano Caruana rating was 2640, and his opponent rating, Emanuel Berg, was 2623. So he was ahead of him by like, I don't know, like 18 points or 17 points, you know what I mean? And yeah, let's go on with the game. What do y'all think Fabiano Caruana played first? Give me an estimate. Y'all should do a comment. All right, he played e4 in this moment. After e4, he played, his opponent played e6, d4, and then they went into a French defense. Who likes seeing a French defense, especially on a Sunday? I don't even know if it's Sunday, but if it is Sunday and you're watching this video, hey, please tell me. After, after d5, knight c3, going into opening theory, then we got the move but d takes on e4. After d takes on e4, that goes into the Rubinstein variation. Then we got knight takes on e4. Usually this is somewhat boring type of position. This could be, but you know, black played in a way where it didn't make it boring, especially not for Fabiano Caruana. After knight d7, then we got them, you know, just developing pieces, knight f3, knight f6, and then we got knight takes on f6. Looks still completely boring. I know, I get it. Why am I going over this game? Knight takes on f6. You're gonna figure it out pretty soon. Bishop d3. After bishop d3, c5 was played. After d takes on c5, bishop takes on c5. What is interesting about this opening, h1? Why are you going over this game? He had so much more important games that you could have went over, but you went over this one that doesn't really showcase Fabiano's gameplay. I don't know. Let's just continue. After queen e2, castle kingside, we're almost there to the position that I want. We got castle kingside, and then we got the move of b6. This seems pretty equal to me. It does, actually. It really does. Just gotta keep on continuing. Like, I don't know what else to say. Let's at least get out of the opening, and then we're gonna talk about the middle game right quick. After the move b6, we got bishop g5, and this is an open position. Anything can happen. And then we got the move of bishop of b7. Fianchetto, both of the bishops is attacking our king side, but we're Fabiano Caruana. Let's just continue. After bishop to b7, we got the move rook a to d1, putting our rook on the same file as their queen. Is a mistake gonna happen there? No, it is not, because black did the move queen to c7. Just bear with me. We're gonna get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there. After queen c7, then the party starts happening. After the move, knight to e5. And I know it might not seem as interesting, and it might show, if you look this position up on the engine, that black is a smidget better, but Berg didn't know that he was facing Fabiano Caruana, not in his prime because he was 2640, but in his uprising. You know what I mean? Uprising, that's a cool word. After knight e5, we got rook f to d8, a king h1. What is the plan here? And then we got the move bishop to e7. Moving backwards with your pieces. It seems like Berg is getting a little bit scared. I don't know, let's see. After bishop e7, rook d to e1, then we got the move h6. Still nothing completely wrong with this position. Got bishop h4, moving out of the way. We're almost there, and then we got the move, the normal move, knight d5, just trading a lot more pieces, maybe bishop takes, etc., right? No, Fabiano Caruana wanted to win this game, so he did the move of bishop to g3, even though he could have took the bishop and went into some drawing position. This was a feisty type of Caruana, right? This was the Caruana that wanted to be world champion one day, which he had the opportunity to be one in 2018, and he could have clearly won. There was a lot of opportunities where he could have swayed his way. So after bishop g3, bishop d6, because black really wants to just trade pieces and get a draw already and move on to the next round. Then we got the move queen e4. Things started to get airy a little bit after this move, even though the computer might be saying, come on now, there's nothing here, especially if you do the right move, especially since black did knight f6. Come on now, what are you trying to do? Like, aren't y'all both over 2600? That was a clear, that yeah, I'm not gonna fall for queen h7. And then after queen e4 by Fabiano Caruana, he played next queen to h4. Still completely equal, but still kind of airy. You don't know what is forming on the king side here. And black can't force a drawing position. Like he can't just do bishop takes on e5 and expect that that's going to be a good position for him to try to equalize. So after queen h4, and this is why I always talk about the difference between chess engines and humans. Berg did a wrong move. And this is why you continue on playing. You don't just draw positions. You don't just agree on a draw or do threefold repetition, because he did the move knight to d7. What do you think is the best move here after knight to d7? I'm gonna give y'all a chance. After knight to d7, we got the move knight takes on f7. Sacrifice. Why? Where did this come from? Wasn't it just like a smidget of advantage for black? Like black got everything that they wanted in the position. If I was playing black pieces, I would have loved to get that position against Fabiano Caruana, or even against Magnus Carlsen or Hikaru Nakamura, whoever it was. I would have loved to get that type of position. Who wouldn't? But now you got a grandmaster sacrificing a knight for a pawn in this position, trying to get your king out. And you probably already see the sequence of moves that is going to happen right now that you're going to have to deal with. After knight takes on f7, you have to take it. You can't just not take it. Like that's clearly a winning position if you just don't take the knight. We got rook takes on e6. I can just imagine the look on his face in this position. He probably tried to stay like poker face, because usually grandmasters do so. They just look at the board and just act like that this isn't happening to them right now. Even though they're around the same rating, he's like acting like, wow, did this really just happen? This kid, because he was a kid at this time. He was like a teenager at this time. This kid is beating me. And I don't know, I'm just gonna guess Emmanuel Berg is like a 40-year-old or like a 30-year-old. This kid is beating me right now. And he just, not only did he sacrifice his knight, but he just sacrificed his rook for a pawn. So they got 2 pawns out of this situation and I got 8 points. Like what else am I doing here? What am I doing something wrong? What happens after king takes on e6? Can y'all tell me that? If king takes on e6, if king takes that rook, then bishop c4 is a move to deal with. Remember, queen is protecting the bishop on c4. And the best defense for black is to do bishop d5. And then we got the move queen to e4. And then after queen moves anywhere around this board, we got queen takes on d5, which is definitely going to be checkmate in a few moves. All right. That's a really bad sequence to have to deal with. So in this position, wait, where was the bishop at? In this position, black didn't take the rook because he already knew that that was a complete trap. I took the knight, but I'm not gonna take that rook. Like, that's crazy. And so he did an even worse move by knight c5. And usually, this is why Grandmaster games are so good, especially when a Grandmaster is getting attacked, because they play like the best defenses or like the most crazy defenses, and then a Grandmaster has to like show his style and still defeat them in this position. Because a beginner can't just checkmate the Grandmaster. Even in this position, I don't think a beginner can just figure out like the next best moves, right? Because I think most people would be like, yeah, we're gonna put that rook back. I don't know what Fabiano Caruana is trying to do here, but he has a plan. And the plan was rook takes on d6. Would y'all have found that move, rook takes on d6? Just be honest with me, because that's a crazy move to find. After rook takes on d6, rook has to capture, because you just cannot just not capture any of the pieces. Then we got the move queen f4. Checking the king, attacking the rook. You can't just let your rook get captured, so you have to protect the rook with the king. Go to king e7. Rook e1. Now we got 4 pieces attacking this lonely king. And remember, there's a chess principle. If you have 4 or 5 pieces attacking the king, that's going to be a successful attack. 4 to 5 pieces. Often it will be a successful attack. Not always, but often it should be. If you look on the computer, it's probably giving you like a A+ advantage like it is in this position. So after king d7, the next best move, bishop b5, checking the king. The king can't just move back because queen f8 is definitely on the horizon. And if king moves to c8, I know all y'all was like thinking, what if king moves to c8? You don't got queen f8 because queen d8 blocks that, or rook d8 blocks that. There is definitely still queen f8 and then rook e8, right? There's definitely still that sequence of moves. Okay. Actually, let's look into it right quick. Because I have it on my computer, the sequence of moves. If king c8, fail. If king c8, rook e8, right? After rook e8, queen d8 is the best move, but after rook d8, queen takes on c7. All right, so that everybody's not just wondering, what if king moves back? Bishop c6 is what happens here. What really happens after bishop c6, then we got the cool move queen f5, not allowing this king to escape to that c8 square and to b7, because we don't want our king to escape. The knight moved back to e6, and now everything is pinned. There's a lot of tactics happening, and you're gonna have to find the best move in this situation, in this position. And the best move is like just taking material. After taking that rook on the d6 square, queen takes on d6. What happens next? What do y'all think happens next? Which move? Which piece is being captured? What option do you think Fabiano took? Well, he took this option. Rook takes on e6. Let me explain something. After rook takes on d6, queen goes to d1 is not checkmate. If queen goes to d1, it's not checkmate because rook goes to e1. And after rook goes to e1, queen is checking the king. So that would be a discovered check. And I would still capture your queen. I would still capture your queen, yeah. Queen is attacking the king, rook defends. After king moves, I take queen. If queen takes on e6, bishop takes on c6. King cannot take c6 bishop because queen takes on e6. After king goes to d6, you can just capture the queen on e6. King captures on e6 and then capture their last rook. And this is a winning endgame. That was the whole plan. That was the point. That was the point. And so this was just a cool game by Fabiano Caruana to get a whole attack out of an equal game. Do y'all know what he just did? Like, Berg did one mistake. That's all it takes against a Grandmaster. One mistake, and he had a sacrifice on the f7 pawn, which he took, and then he had a sacrifice on the e6 pawn. He sacrificed a double sacrifice, and he didn't even take that. So yeah, Fabiano Caruana was the GOAT, and that's why he should have been contender against Magnus Carlsen for like a whole decade. I'm just gonna put that out there, all right? Am I a fanboy? Hey, there's nothing wrong with supporting people. Sue me, like, for real.